It feels really good to be home in the Adirondacks. But I'm living in the Pacific Northwest right now, and I'm all about being very present right now. And it's actually not that easy to do in this day. But I'm also trying to be very energetic. I'm trying to amp my life up, get some more intensity. You know, it's easy to get down with all that we learn, especially my generation. I mean, we've grown up with all of these pretty gloomy facts. And so I'm looking for presence and intensity, and what better inspiration than Pacific salmon, which are absolutely incredible. So I decided to write a song on Kurt's request, and this is about Pacific salmon. It's called Smells Like Stream Spirit. Pacific salmon are unbelievable species. You can kind of imagine their story. They used to come by the millions in streams and rivers all across the Pacific Northwest. But they've had to deal with what we call the 4 H's: habitat destruction, commercial harvest, hydroelectric dams, and hatcheries that have decreased the genetic integrity of wild stocks. But really, those 4 H's just fall under the one big, undeniable H: humans. Planes, trains, and automobiles, it's like the faster we move, the more that we kill. Time included, land disputed, all of it filled with children of dirt for false worth. We slaughter it still, feast or famine. As flames reach the cannon, we sit around, wonder how we're gonna meet the damage. And so I speak to salmon in trees, creeks with tannins, and they be damned to see another wild stream beat by damning. It's the coil of our past unraveled, red words between the babble, beneath the gravel. On the level I can understand, pulled back inside the motherland. Brother man, father fish, showing us the path of resistance is the one that exists. So if you're not mad yet, it's time to throw a fit. Life is such a noble gift. On the trip I'm hoping that I'm not simply taking up a spot with half an otolith. Cause a kid with mobile wit sort of is a stick in the mud, slicker than oil, head thicker than blood. The bigger the boil, the quicker the sludge. And tar sands are the proof that our narrow lens needs a nudge. So listen up, if you ingest the lie, spit it up. This is not what we are here for, to declare war on the very things we're made of. The American dream was made up. They built the walls while our eyes were shut. They bleed our rivers till the waters dry up. A slope visually plucked of every tree, spilling sediment into the stream, creating a slur to run amok into ancient ruins, influencing geological movements. The age of humans, blazing lumens, raise pollution, algae blooming like a serpent with his plume, turning us to the conclusion. It's so confusing, my head is spinning, but the revolution will not be televised. We're tuned to the illusion. I am only human, that means I'll move mountains, dig the ocean floor, searching for oil fountains, blaze outer space, growing my inner self, killing my inner cities with my imbalanced wealth, stop rivers dead so I can eat my fruit, buy a trash can so I can throw away the truth, burn 100 gallons just to take the scenic route, declare myself sick, then consume the proof, live 100 years, taking all she's got, build my body up and knock it in a box. When a salmon's done, he drops it on the rocks and becomes the very energy that got him to that spot. And for the smell, well, a human being would write a lyric but never describe the stream's spirit. This water is damaged. Can we please try to love one another? Yeah, hear the salmon elders say, I just wanna live, yeah. Climate change is not a violent game, more like a lion's mane. Fire on the fang, venom in vein, a giant's bane. Wonder how can I maintain amid the pain. Had to hop on a plane so you could see me spill my heart out. There is no throw out, there's no go away. It's all a cycle. We try to stifle illegal bycatch, invasive harbor rats, and albatross eating garbage patch. I'm part of that. My grandmother had a heart attack. After 98 trips from the sun, she chose not to give her carbon back. The son of God's hands are tarred and black. It's raised beam off the tarmac. Take us to the max temperature, mass expenditure, far from taxed. Bombarded with the startling facts. And so her grandson finds it hard to relax, cause he is living in the time when the karma comes back. The drawbacks of going out of your mind. You write serious rhymes, but these are serious times. Are we blind to the ecocide, tides and highs, sea level rise, meteor lies and mudslides? When the ground below our belly starts to wash away, exposing everything we saved for a rainy day, we won't find home, and neither will our children. What is the purpose of a life that is based on killing? What happens when the dirt exposes us to the dirt, which will prove broken? Nope. When the light dims, we look away, while in the stream to reascend the path and recover the place of its birth. For what it's worth, a salmon dies with its eyes open. Thank you. Oh, thank you. So came out here on a dinosaur burning tin can, 35,000 feet up. I still think planes are insane. Crazy. 35,000 feet in the air, 500 miles per hour. Everybody's rushing around the airport like they're going to, be the first to be there. We're all going in the same place. And then you get in the plane, and everybody's got the iPad. Everybody's got a computer or a phone. All the shades are shut. We're just up in the air, flying around. Nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And so, I started realizing after I'm looking down at the earth that it's really hard to recognize what's going on when you are distracted and when you are not present. So that's just been part of my whole thing. And I also believe that climate change, like Liz started to say earlier, it's as much as a social issue as it is an environmental issue. I mean, right? They're one and the same thing. It's just we as humans, we segregate them, and that's our problem. So this next one is called "Snow Doesn't Stick to Drill Rigs." Chick Corea. People said, "I'm ready, master me." Grace Page find a scenic route around the way it has to be. He gleaned from view the way to face catastrophe was naturally to feed the roots before the tree. And in its shade he felt the darkness fade and conceived the truth. The path that spirals toward a free occupancy in the godless frenzy, and a keen alertness to remain accordingly. Just as he with pulse began to relax, comes a man with an axe, ready to stump him and push the button to Max the glutton, who's packed with nothing but the food that makes him more in need. And thus the pupil found the door before the key. I think, therefore I beat, blink before I see, sing more than I breathe, so the beat is from the heart within. Boom, boom, I'm gaining ink the more I bleed, and so I think we're smart. Human beings are smart, but animals are smart too. I think we can learn a lot from animals. I think us dudes can learn a thing or two from male birds. That's just the start, but we have a lot of animals that we can learn from and teach us very valuable lessons. Policies based on politics and not science. Missing our mark. National parks are not islands. Breaking apart without realizing it, like kids running straight through the dark with locked eyelids. They prove that a canvas and park can stop violence, and school boards always cut nature and art. And we're puzzled as to why these little kids pop Vicodin, sub food for vitamins, cyberspace to replay slingshots, tire swings, teachers getting fired, attention tended to due south. Kids went from cartoons to iTunes to tune out. Get your hiking boots out if you never got the logic that sitting on a bar stool with 5 dudes is getting out. This is when you start flipping out, start kicking out the whole frame like a weak picture mount that resembles the extent of your leash. Never meant to release. Pennsylvania, how's your water? I wouldn't give a quarter to these gas holes. I'd say my shale ain't for sale. Go buy the drive by to somebody else's soul. Leave me alone. You can call me a liar, but people in Pennsylvania like their water on fire now. Go ahead, call me a liar, but people in PA, they like their water on fire now. Go ahead, call me a liar. People in Pennsylvania like their water on fire now. Pennsylvania, how's your water? Was it worth that 30 grand to frack up your land with this? We've reached the very rock bottom, pretending to increase, intent to get back on our feet, and at the same time destroying the ground beneath global defeat. But to now, all our troubles have been cast to the wind, cause the principle's been sound asleep. Line up, the come around is deep. How deep? It's too deep. We drilled it from the bottom, now it's here. We drilled it from the bottom, now it's in our planet's atmosphere, in our rivers, oceans, and our air. Our policy's the same, listen, we don't give a damn, man. Drilled it from the bottom, now it's here. Drilled it from the bottom, now it's here. Thank you. Okay. I guess I should take this time to thank Kurt. Thank you, Kurt, and everybody here at Paul Smith's that got me here. It's incredible. Thank you, Liz, for all your help, and the sound guys, and everybody. Thank you so much. And my family for coming up and checking me out. Okay, so back to that, me trying to be more energized and happier and take what I now know and turn it into something positive. So for me, for so long, hip-hop has been a diary. It's been an outlet. It's where I just dump everything. It's not that cheery. It's a lot of negativity, and it's a lot of sorrow, and this is just part of my mission. My goal for this year is to be a lot happier and more cheerful. So this last one I have for you was produced by my brother, who's in the stage here. It's called The Bright Side. Neil Young once said, "How can you run when you know?" Well, you can't. Not easily, anyway. Not if you know. I heard the voice 7 years ago now, and it told me to disseminate this unique sound. Turn the radio off and haven't tuned in since. Compass dial pointed north, steadfastly retreating on a warming globe. Used to care about footwear, but always rap for kicks. Not some way to get rich or some slick wardrobe. Simply medicating my mind, motivating the mass with melodies from earlier times. A smeary pattern, you're mad, we're trillium. Put me in my element like indium. I'm so thankful to be young in the era of the sunlit push. Remember me as the one who woke up. Remember us as the ones who won't budge. The generation of the grit and the grunge. Grandchildren of Gaia, too grounded to hold a grudge. Short our grief-stricken godfathers, too great to ever give up. What is born in the dark must be tender and deep. I find the light. Being late, heavier night. There's a thin line between demented and inventive. If I ever told you anything, I meant it. That moment of truth stirs up before it settles. I'll punctuate the paper, my clothes all disheveled. Aim high behind the blinds where I try to hide. Awakened on the bright side. Yeah, bright side. The hope I see is that all these graphs, 1800s, that's not that long ago. It's depressing, it's not that long, and in a short time we've done some damage, but it's not that long ago. The conscious is already changing. We're doing it. Just turned 26 million words, still not about a buck, just trying to get myself heard. Dear Mr. John Muir, in a life of peaks and valleys, why is the flow so damn impure? I try to tell you this, but I'm a little unsure. This passion that I put forth, now behind my every step, I wish my mind would let me rest. I wish the concept to help the earth wasn't second best. Wish I never digressed for this faulty sake of interest. Like dig this, get into the groove of your carbon footprint. Everything that can blow should vent. And my paper isn't green, so I'm hardly spent. Here I go again. This is how a story has an open end. Why I chew my nails and pens instead of the butt end of a cigarette. Never told you this either. I'm scared of all the chemicals I ate for 20 years, of all the things that go inside my ears, and where that weight goes, what breaks down. And the mouth is the exit hole. No waste and no control. Without a face, whereabouts unknown. Emotion unshown. Future written over one-of-a-kind lines of a palm. Read on the screen of a phone. Never alone. A pre-grown tree in a mulch bed for a bleak home. And so I roam where nerves are intense, cause I'd rather know my enemies outright than have to suspect 300 friends. I sure would. All about being present. What is born in the dark must be tender and deep. I find the light, be it late, heavy or night. There's a thin line between demented and inventive. If I ever told you anything, I meant it. That moment of truth stirs up before it settles. I punctuate the paper, my clothes all disheveled. Aim high behind the blinds where I try to hide. Awakened on the bright side. Thank you so much, everybody.